What's up, everyone? My name's Luke Craig. I'm in English 201 with Professor Drana, and in my video, I'm going to be discussing gun violence in America. This next video is a video posted by Fox News. In this video, gunshots were fired and Americans were in a panic and were trying to rush out of the mall. This shows just how dangerous and how Americans react to gun violence. Gun violence has been an ongoing problem in America for many years and is continuing to get worse. Every day, people are getting severely injured or killed due to gun violence. Gun violence can occur in many ways: suicide, shootings, accidents, and gang-related incidents. Every day, you are at risk of being a victim to gun violence, even in your own home. Statistically speaking, 100 people die and 200 people are injured every day due to gun violence. Many people's lives are at stake, and yours could be too. Something's got to change. This is a pie chart demonstrating gun-related deaths. 38,826 people per year are killed due to gun violence. That is 38,826 people losing their innocent life. And that is also 38,826 families having to mourn the loss of a loved one. 60% of these deaths are caused by suicide. 36% of these deaths are caused by homicide, which is public shootings, school shootings, etc. 1% of these deaths are police shootings, which have been occurring more recently, and these numbers are beginning to rise very sadly. 1% of these deaths are unintentional, such as accidents, and 1% is still unknown. 58% of people have experienced gun violence in their lifetime, and around 3 million kids have witnessed gun violence every year. Do you really want your kids witnessing gun violence? Do you really want your kids seeing that in their head and being scarred for the rest of their life, or eventually growing into that type of lifestyle? After tragic events occur, you often hear people say this: how was he or she able to get their hands on that gun? Or why don't we just take guns away from everybody? Well, our Second Amendment right gives all Americans the right to bear arms, and that will most likely never be taken away. Also, getting a gun in America nowadays is a very simple process and is very easy. Our background checks are not as effective as you think they are. A person with no criminal record can easily go in, buy a gun with full intention of committing a crime. A person with an addiction problem to drugs can easily go in, lie about their addiction, cause no red flags to show up on the background check, and easily purchase a gun. And lastly, people with mental illnesses can easily pass a background check if they have never purchased any medication or they've never been institutionalized. Also, criminals can just steal their weapons. They steal from their family members, they steal from anyone. They can rob a house, steal a gun. They can easily get their hands on a gun by committing crime. People who shouldn't be allowed or aren't capable of carrying a weapon or using a weapon are very easily getting their hands on guns. And this should be very scary, but also very alarming for any citizen living in the United States of America. School shootings have been becoming more common to see recently, and that is a very saddening and terrifying thing. We go to school to get a free education, to get us ready for the real world, and also keep us safe. Since 2018, there have been 82 school shootings, and that number continues to rise every year and is starting to become too common in the United States. Students have to go to school in fear, teachers have to teach students in fear, and parents are also in fear that an intruder could break into their school or their child's school and cause harm and take lives of innocent students and teachers. This is a major problem in the United States, and gun violence is to blame for all of this. Gun violence is already a major problem in America, but every year it continues to get worse. It needs to be stopped. Innocent people are losing their lives daily because the mentally ill, gang members, and criminals are easily able to get their hands on a gun with no problem. That creates a major problem for everyone living in the United States, me, you, and every other citizen. People are dying every day just trying to live their normal life, whether that's going to school, going to work, going to the grocery store to feed their family, or just taking a walk in the park. We need gun violence to stop so we can make this country safe again for everyone living in it. We need to be able to live our lives freely and not in fear that each day we could potentially lose our life due to gun violence. Gun violence needs to be stopped. I'm here with Noah. Over time, I asked him a few questions related to gun violence. Noah, what is your stance on gun violence today?
I think it needs to be a little bit tighter. I don't think there needs to be 17, 18-year-olds with their hands on AR-15s. There's no reason there should be school shootings. I just don't see the reason why a 17-year-old needs an AR-15 in his back pocket, if you know what I mean.
No, I fully understand. Do you believe that gun violence is a major problem in the United States?
Yes. I mean, if you look at statistics, I mean, most deaths are from guns besides sickness and overweight, but I think it's a big part that needs to be addressed by whoever is in office.
100% agree. Does it ever run through your mind during the day that you could encounter gun violence or be a victim to gun violence?
I mean, I wouldn't say like 100% all the time, but definitely after you like see breaking news of like people at school getting shot up or people dying, it's like, dang man, that can happen to me, happen to one of my friends. You never know who's crazy enough to shoot someone.
Yeah. And last question I have for you is, have you or anyone you ever knew had an encounter or a threat of gun violence?
I mean, there's been several times when I was in high school, my high school would get like a bomb threat called in or a gun violence threat called in. There's been plenty of riots in the bathroom wall. I'm shooting up here and there. Don't come to school. I mean, there's been several days I've come to school on those days, and we had literally hundreds of law enforcement there at school today. Everyone's getting checked in, coming into school. It's just crazy, man.
And how did that make you feel, knowing that someone was possibly going to come in your school and try to take innocent lives?
Definitely, I felt threatened because you just never know. It could be you, it could be your mother, it could be your best friend. You really put in perspective how precious life is and how some people are willing to throw it all away just for a moment of fame for them. Guns can be a good thing, guns can be a bad thing.
I 100% agree. Noah, thank you for your time.
Of course.
After watching this video, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to answer them to yourself truly and really think about it. How would you feel if you were in a situation and you could possibly be a victim to gun violence? What if it was a family member or a friend you have was a victim to gun violence? How could you help promote awareness towards gun violence in America and really make people realize how much of a danger it is to our country? And lastly, is gun violence a real problem in America? And I can answer that question for you. It is. America is in danger, and gun violence is the reasoning for that.